pass the big tax cut. The question is whether he's going to try to reduce the deficit and cut spending. That's something that Tea Party and conservatives will take a look at. But I think it's very possible, and I would agree that I think you will see more of a bipartisan theme tonight, and whether or not the Democrats accept that or not, we don't know. And one thing will be interesting to see when the Republicans are cheering some of that, whether the Democrats are standing up cheering it as well.
Yeah. That's always an interesting thing to watch. When it comes to reducing the deficit, this is mathematically, economically, this is a very, very important issue. But it's not one of those sexy issues with voters. And since we've been able to get away with not balancing the budget for so long, and we've gotten to this point, it's almost like it would be so painful to reduce the deficit and balance the budget that it's almost as if that's a can that just keeps getting kicked down the road.
Well, it is a can that's getting kicked down the road, and both sides are guilty of it. And I think one of the things that we see now is most Americans expect there to be a deficit. And the numbers are so high, whether it's a $600 billion deficit or an $800 billion deficit, doesn't always make a lot of difference. The problem is the more deficit you have, the more debt you have, the more debt you have, the more you pay interest on the debt. So over time, the percentage of interest that the federal government is going to spend on debt payments is going to crowd out other budget activities, whether that is national defense or Social Security or transportation or health care or other matters.
In your newsletter that I just received before going on the air, you talk about the most popular words to describe President Trump. Arrogant, bold, hypocritical, patriotic, strong, intelligent, effective, sincere, and honest were among the top words.
They were, although the negatives of some of those were pretty high. Like, for instance, on honest, 25% said that describes Trump, and 46% says it doesn't. I think what people are really saying, whether they like him or not, is they think he is bold, they think he is arrogant, they think he is strong. Republicans certainly think he's patriotic. Democrats think he's hypocritical. And, and it goes from there. But this is a very deeply divided electorate where Republicans are almost uniformly in support of President Trump and almost everything he does, and Democrats are uniformly against almost everything he does. And the independent voters are sort of one-third are with him, one-third are against him, and one-third have no idea what he's doing.
You talk about Donald Trump's approval rating by state for the year 2017. Louisiana is at 49%. Well, yeah, 49% approval rating here. California was at, I think it was 29%. So tell us what area of the country had the least support and least approval for President Trump.
Well, it basically follows the vote in the last election. Louisiana, as you mentioned, was 49%. It was in the top 15 of the 50 states for Trump. The worst states are really the New England states, like Massachusetts and Vermont, Connecticut, New York, the big East Coast state, California, the big West Coast state, Hawaii. In District of Columbia, the capital city of our country, President Trump's average approval in D.C. has been 6%, which is an incredibly low number.
So is it a case of those who know the business well are judging him negatively?
Well, it's a number of things. I mean, for starters, the District of Columbia is a very, very Democratic constituency. So you would expect any Republican to do poorly in D.C. But the District of Columbia also makes up a lot of federal workers and consultants and people who rely on the federal government. And generally speaking, they don't like Donald Trump's politics.
Ron Fauché, who is a political analyst and president of the Claris Research Group, thanks for your time today.
Thank you. Happy to be with you.
All right. Thanks, Ron. If you're on hold, hang on. If you want to join us with a comment, I'm dedicating some time this hour to talk about the accomplishments of President Trump. And what does President Trump deserve credit for as he goes into his first State of the Union address tonight? The number is 260-1870, text 870-870. I'm Scoot. Glad you're with us. We'll be back on WWL.
many Louisiana sportsmen and sportswomen that can't get enough of fishing and hunting talk, I've got the answer. Right after the Saturday morning outdoor show on 870 AM and 105.3 FM ends at 7, listen to more outdoors on 105.3 FM HD2 or at WWL.com. That's the program for more fishing reports, more hunting season updates, and more special guests talking about the issues affecting fish and wildlife. More outdoors Saturday 7 to 9 AM on WWL FM 105.3 HD2 or on WWL.com.
Where can I get my perks today?
GetMyPerks.com, featuring the best deals in town on dining, entertainment, services, and the products you want. Purchase certificates to your favorite places for at least 50% off every day. What's the best deal in town?
GetMyPerks.com/New Orleans.
I've got a song coming up right after this break, and it is a song that really does reflect what most of us want from President Trump tonight. Not everybody, but most of us want this. That's coming up. If you have noticed something about your child or your grandchild, and you've noticed that something is a little off, it's not definite, you're not sure, it's not traumatic, but maybe they're just not fitting in socially the way they should, they're having issues at school, maybe behavioral problems that you really don't understand because you know how you've raised the child, and you just don't understand what's going on. It could be something. And I'm going to say this as a simple thing because compared to a lot of things, it's simple. It could be something as simple as OCD, ADD, ADHD, anxiety. It could be just the way the chemicals in their brain are arranged. I mean, I have personal experience with that growing up. There is something